So if you follow or you go to Regal Cinemas, you might have known about this little secret screening they did on Monday night where you buy a ticket to a movie, but the thing is, you have no idea what movie you're about to watch. You just buy a ticket and you'll sit down and watch it, which I thought was a great idea. And 100 people showed up for the screening, so Regal, keep doing that. But I was sitting there wondering because I knew it was rated R. So I was like, okay, maybe it's Amsterdam or Halloween Ends. That's my prediction. Turns out, it was this movie. The Greatest Beer Run Ever stars Zac Efron and Russell Crowe and is about a man's story of leaving New York in 1967 to bring beer to his childhood buddies in the army while they're fighting in Vietnam. Now, I'll be completely honest, without this little screening, I was not planning on reviewing or even watching this movie. I saw the commercials, I saw it directed by Peter Farrelly, I know he did Dumb and Dumber and obviously Green Book, but it was a movie I just wasn't intrigued in seeing. It looked like a dumb comedy. I had no idea it was based off a true story. I had no idea about the details of this movie, but in the very end, I'm really glad I got a chance to watch it. Now, this is a movie that didn't blow me away or anything. I can't lie, I was a little disappointed that it wasn't something big for such a secret screening, but for an Apple TV movie coming out this Friday, I mean, I had fun with this movie. Zac Efron is actually really good in this movie. His New York accent is pretty good. Even there's a few moments I heard his little Zac Efron self, but for the most part, he's really good in this movie. For such a crazy story, he does a great job with the dramatic parts, the funny parts, and the just outrageously stupid parts that his character go through. I mean, this is crazy that this actually happened. I mean, they show pictures at the very end credits of the guy and the story and who makes it out of Vietnam and all that kind of stuff. And to know that this really happened, a guy who wanted to support his troops, his friends over there in Vietnam, he gets on a boat, gets a bag of beer, and starts delivering it to one by one across Vietnam. It's crazy that happened. In the first 50 minutes of this movie, I was really digging it. Seriously, the pacing, the production design, the cinematography, the comedy, it was funny. I mean, I was enjoying myself. And then the movie gets very political. And let me just say this. If it's a part of the story that they're trying to tell of this guy, I understand. I respect. You're telling the story that need to be told. But there's just moments where it goes more into the media, the pictures and the videos that we see on TVs at home in 1967, which got more political and got really more dramatic towards the third act, which it very much felt like a different movie. I mean, the first hour and a half, he's delivering the beer, he's getting in the trenches, and it's very funny, and it's very crazy, but it also is very serious, because he's just a normal dude walking into Vietnam of his choice. So it does that barrier very well. There's a great moment where he's literally in the dirt with these guys, with his friend, and they're shooting a gun, and he's just sitting there looking at him, and he looks scared. That was a perfect dramatic moment. I don't need him literally in a car going down a street, seeing dead bodies and blood and kids on the side of the road, and we're trying to say, hey, Vietnam's a horrible thing. We know that. And then when you get more into political of like what the TV is and how the army and how they're lying and stuff like that, I just wasn't into that because this is not the movie I was expecting. I didn't expect what movie I was even watching, but when I finally got into it, I sat there and I said, this stuff feels so out of place. But again, if they're telling the story that was supposed to be told, I respect it. Because in the end, I really enjoyed the movie. It was funny, it had good heartwarming moments, and by the end of it, I said, Zac Efron, do more of these kind of movies. I'm going to give The Greatest Beer Run Ever a C+. I believe it premieres on Apple TV this Friday, and it's going across a few movie theaters. Like I said, I had no idea what movie I was going to watch, but in the end, I'm glad I watched it, and I hope Regal, I really hope you do it again, because it looks like it's success, and it was actually really intriguing to sit there and be like, alright, lights going down, Zac Efron movie. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted Halloween, or maybe even Amsterdam, but okay. Anyway, guys, enjoy this movie review, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.